Good morning, top fan, rivalry followers. It is a wonderful Wednesday here in H-Town, Houston, Texas, home of the two-time world champion Houston Astros. That's right. This is another episode of Can of Corn. I, of course, am your host, Big Dave, coming to you live, direct, and in living color. That right there that you see in the corner there is my buddy Baseball Bill, the co-host with the most, the Furter to my Frank, the Robin to my Batman, everything, and a ball of chips and a bag of corn nuts. And don't forget about the beaver nuggets. Bill, how are you doing today in beautiful Southern California?
I'm doing great. Dave, it's funny when you say all of that, it takes me back to Rocky 4 when they're announcing Apollo Creed and Rocky, the King of Sting, the Sting, the Mountain of Muscle, all this stuff, right?
The Count of
And
Monte Cristo.
yeah, and Rocky looks at him and goes, "You have enough nicknames?" And Apollo goes, "Patience, Stallion, they're almost through." Like
Yeah, yeah.
every time you do this intro, it reminds me of that. I don't know
I'm,
why,
I'm
but it
I'm
just
trying to
does.
get you more nicknames, Bill. I'm working on it.
Hey,
I'm working
listen,
on it.
listen. I mean, I'm doing great. America's team, the Dodgers, is doing fantastic.
But I, technical department. Make it.
Ah,
No. Is this thing on? Hello? Hello?
now we're in Spies Like Us. Gotta go lunch date.
Sorry, I thought I was talking to Mr. Fitzhume there. I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, your prorated payroll team there is doing okay. I see.
They're doing good. They're
Yeah.
doing good.
Give a shout out to my boy Mikey Bleeds Blue next time you talk to him.
Will do. Will do. In fact, I should be talking to him tomorrow. We were texting
Look
today.
here, I appreciate it. Like I said, that's Baseball Bill. I'm Big Dave. This is Can of Corn, bringing to you tidbits of baseball knowledge, fortified and bona fide, guaranteed to make you be the smartest man at the water cooler or woman, that matter. We'd like to thank you for tuning in wherever you listen to your podcasts and or broadcasts. If you're watching this on YouTube, congratulations, you're catching all this gorgeousness for free. Do me a favor though, mash that subscribe button. It's the easiest way to let us know you appreciate what we're doing. Also, while you're there, feel free to leave a comment. Tell me I'm absolutely full of it, or you can let me know how wonderful these belts are behind me, or whatever you want. If you want to be a guest on the show, go on and submit your application there. But right now, we got to do some work that helps pay the bills around here. And let's give it up to the sponsors that bring this lovely show to you today. All right. We're coming out. We want to give a shout out to Darren and Curtis and the whole crew over at Gravity Red Production Services out of Huntington Beach, California. That's right. If you're trying to
Oh,
get some shots done, if you need some promotional work, the great camera work, these guys know what they're doing. Top notch. I've worked with them myself. Yes, I am a paid actor. I don't know if you know that, but get at my manager for bookings. Also, want to give a shout out to Lane Roofing in SoCal there, established in 1974. Bill, you know what that means? That's over 50 years of outstanding service there in
yes.
California. Thank you, Lang Roofing. And I'd be remiss if I forgot about our third sponsor today, Drunken Gentleman Clothing Company. You can find them over at drunkengentleman.com or be a drunk gent on Instagram. Thank you guys for helping us bring this to the masses. Bill, you know what time it is? Astros recap time. Okay, it's my show. That's right. So we take that Dodger nonsense, throw it out the window, and we give you the
America's
juicy,
team.
fat tidbits of what America's favorite team is doing. That's right, the good guys in orange, the Houston Astros. Currently, we're first place in the AL West at 45 and 33. We're 4.5 games ahead of the Mariners and only 3.5 games behind the AL leading Tigers for the best record in the American League. Say it ain't so, Bill. Say it ain't so. Eat your heart out, okay? Can we finally just understand that it is what it is? Bill, this is your chance where you can say something nice about your second favorite team.
And uh, uh,
And that's enough for Bill today. Anyway, look here. I think it's time, Bill. I know that I was hard on this guy in the past, but I want to give some credit where credit is due to GM Dana Brown and Astro skipper Joe Espada. Okay.
Okay.
Um, I think the whole time these guys were playing chess while everybody else was playing checkers. Okay. Last year, this time we were 34 and 40 and 9 games out. Okay. The bullpen was disastrous. Abreu was blowing up. Presley was stressing me out every single game. Hader was doing his thing, but he had absolutely no help. And it's hard to get saves when you're down 3 runs
Yes.
after leading in the 8th inning. So, but no, Hader had no help, injuries, and I think just that playing from behind, you definitely saw the postseason fatigue. I think settle in. The Tigers were hot and young and fired up and just ran us out the building. So I want to give a shout out where, like I said, credit where credit is due. Real recognizes real. Dana Brown, Joe Espada, I tip my cap to you because the Astros are playing phenomenally. Okay, what a difference a year makes. Currently, as we're recording, the good guys are up in the top of the ninth over the Phillies 1-0 after a phenomenal pitching performance by Bill's favorite pitcher, my boy Framber Valdez. Okay, he goes 7 innings of 4 hits, shutout baseball against Ranger Suarez, who was going. I give it to you. He was going. We didn't get a score. I think we didn't get a hit off of him until like the 6th inning, and then we finally went yard. So we'll keep you posted whether or not we're going to add 46 wins to that total there. But anyway, like I was mentioning, I think we can finally say that the Astros got the better part of the Kyle Tucker trade. Hear me out. Hear me
Okay.
out.
Let's hear
Don't
it.
don't 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 at me. Don't get in my inbox, people. You King Tucker lovers out there. But listen to me, okay? Cam Smith is a generational talent. I think we can all agree on that. Um,
Okay.
and not only this is a time where a young player is usually in the minor leagues trying to figure it out. Well, this guy is doing it with all the lights on him. He's in the big show trying to figure it out, and I think he's doing, above an above par job. Okay, is he replacing Kyle Tucker numbers? Of course not. But what he's doing, hear me out, Bill. Here.
I'm
He's
listening.
replacing the Jeremy Pena numbers because Jeremy Pena is having an astronomical year and is actually putting up Kyle Tucker like numbers. So while he's not taking up for the slack left over there, the Tucker left, Pena has elevated his game. I think he's over 400 now with runners in scoring position, just ripping the cover off the ball. Another a couple of hits tonight, a double I think he had after we got Suarez out of the game. But like I said, Cam Smith is taking over where Pena left off, and Pena is taking over where Tucker left off. So I got to say that while like Dana Brown had me angry at the beginning of this season or in the off season, I got a feeling that everything is going to work out in the end. Because don't forget about the other trade we pulled off, or the other part player in that trade, third baseman Isaac Paredes. I think it's safe to say, Bill, would I be lying if I say he's canceling out the loss of Alex Bregman? If you look at the numbers, he is hitting with runners in scoring position. He's taking up Astros win, another win for the good guys. There you go, another save for Hader. 29 saves on the year. So one more game
Yeah.
closer to taking the AL total wins total. But like I was saying, Paredes, hear me out. I mean, Bregman is doing a great job in Boston. I think he's going to play for that opt out and try to really cash out this offseason. Kudos
Okay.
to him. But Paredes is filling the void. He's getting hits in the lineup when he needs to get hits. He's playing, I wouldn't say gold glove level third base, but he's not having to. He's not committing errors and he's in the lineup. He's not hurt. So I think that's a
Here's
wash.
here's here's my thing. You're talking about Tuck, you're talking about Bregman. Here's my thing, Dave. I I I understand where you're going with this. I think it's a little too early in both of those gentlemen's career, Cam Smith and Paredes, to say that they're good enough to replace those other two. Now, can they
No,
put
I
those
mean,
numbers
I'm
up?
going on a. We saw the work last year versus
Oh,
the work this year. Okay, just numbers for numbers, where we're missing the hits and the RBIs at. yes, we're having to do it with three players because we lost two, but Pena's play has been able to pick up the team and allow these younger players to kind of fill it in. So I'm
I,
just saying.
that I agree with. But when you're saying, I mean, now mind you, Dave, a couple of weeks ago, I don't know, month and a half ago, when the season started, and we were starting to get into the jam of the season, you said, and I quote, imagine if Altuve, Breckman, Correa, and Springer and Tucker all played on the same team.
Oh,
I mean,
no, without a
you were
doubt. We know that that is the Astros dynasty. And thank you for bringing that up because I know that's near and dear to your heart. You just love that 2017 team. I mean, it's just, yeah,
is a
I know that's
strong
the,
word, Dave. Love is a
hey,
very strong word.
I know you've got the jersey hanging up, and I know it's one of your favorites. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Hey,
Look, so okay, it may be a bit early, but I'm just saying where we're at this season is not where anybody thought we were gonna be.
100%. 100%.
Okay. The
Um,
Altuve outfield era has gone off without a hitch for the most part. Yeah, there's some growing
mm,
pains. Look, you're
mm.
gonna have an error here or there, but he's not getting torched. Okay.
So
He's
here's the thing. So I was at two different games this weekend. I was at Friday and Saturday, both against you guys. In the Friday game, he made an error, I think in the first inning on a ball that was hit on the ground. He does look a little bit, and you had mentioned this before with his fly balls. He looks a little bit lost out there. He takes weird angles. And so, I mean, will it get there? Sure, that's fine. It'll get there. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, if this guy can stay healthy, he's one of the only players left. And I'm going to say Marcus Lynn Betts. I'm going to say Freddie Freeman. I'm going to say Bryce Harper, or as they say in Philly, Bryce Hoppa. Um, Altuve, maybe one or two others, but those are the only guys left that are going to get to 300 hit or 3,000 hits
Yeah,
because
no, the
guys just
the
don't play
the
as long.
the list of applicants for the 3,000 hit club is dwindling year by year. I give you that.
Yes.
Moving him to the outfield is definitely going to extend his career.
Yeah.
But without the growing pains withstood. Okay, I know the game you're talking about. There was also a fly ball where he took his first step backwards, where I think if he'd have went forward, he could have had a chance to perhaps dive or at least corral it in front of him. And he misjudged and ended up getting by him. So,
Yeah. But see,
but
here's the thing, Dave. Let's call a spade a spade. You and I are talking about it. He's doing it. So we
yeah,
gotta
no,
give him
no.
a little bit of
And
sugar.
while he's doing it, Mauricio Dubon is proving that you put him anywhere on the field, in the
Mhm.
lineup, and he's going to produce. Okay. So I'm loving that. And here's the best thing.
Mhm.
Like I said, we just won 46th win on the year. Um, our pitching has held us in games. We've had more injuries to a pitching staff than almost anybody else in the league, but yet
Mhm.
our guys, I
But
said almost,
okay.
okay? There's 30 teams in the league, okay? Unless
Okay.
I'm counting sometimes 32, but that's for another show. Um, but we've had a lot of injuries this year to starting. We've had five starting pitchers on the IL this year. So we're getting all this done with that. The bullpen is deep and solid. Hader is proving that he is one of the best closers in the game. And we're doing all this without the man Yordan Alvarez, who will be back hopefully sometime before the postseason. Um, but I think it's safe to say that, in the words of the wondrous Thanos, the Astros are inevitable. Just
Enjoy
saying.
the run while it is here, because I'll tell
No,
you what.
nobody wants to play us in the postseason. So that has been your Astros Roundup report here on Can of Corn. Once again, brought to you by Top Fan Rivalry. Go on over to topfanrivalry.com. Get yourself locker room access. You can get all the tidbits, the stories, the inner stories, the behind the scenes, all that only available in the locker room at TopFanRivalry.com. While you're over there, jump on over to the team store. You can jump in the 27 ounce club. It's a box break brought to you by Top Fan Rivalry. Your favorite baseball cards. You get your team, you lock it down, you're locked, loaded, and they will get to you on your doorstep without a hitch. Okay. Anything in the
Okay.
team store while you're there, use the discount code Big Dave, BIGDAVE. Your big homie. I'm taking one on the chin for y'all. All of the 10% that y'all are taking out, I'm having to pay. So it's okay. That's what I'm doing for y'all. Go on, take advantage of that discount while you're there. Get yourself your own baseball cards made. You can get yourself your dugout mugs, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. Ladies, there's bags for you to carry in, the clear bags. You know, everybody's got a bag policy. You can get that there only at topfanrivalry.com, the team store. Use the discount code Big Dave.
Mhm.
Bill,
Yes.
so I know that you're a Dodgers fan.
America's team. Got it.
You're
Yep.
not shy about that. Okay.
America's
You
team.
keep
Got it.
mispronouncing Los Angeles. I don't know what's wrong with your vernacular. But it's Los Angeles. Okay. And it ain't got nothing to do with America. It's Los Angeles. Okay.
This guy.
All right.
This guy.
Anyway, I want to give you a chance to talk about your guys. So I wanted to do something that we haven't done here yet on Can of Corn, and that's give us the a power ranking. Okay, 1 through 10, the top 10 teams in the league. And I thought this would be a great time for you to talk about your Dodgers, but they're not the top team in the power rankings here. Okay, so let's get started here. First, I've got the Detroit Tigers. Much to my dismay, they are the best team in the American League. I think they are the best team in the majors. Their pitching is good. Say what you want, coaching matters. AJ Hinch, he got ran out of Houston, and I was a big um, proponent against that. I did not like that at all. He got scapegoated and ran out of town, and I think he's got a bit of that. Okay, you know what? I'm going to show y'all, and he quickly brushed us out the playoffs this year, and he's got these boys playing this year. Gleyber Torres OPS is up to 804. All right, 804. So, you know, Scubal's doing his thing. These kids are playing. AJ's got them playing. Bill, can you agree with me that the Detroit Tigers are the best team in baseball?
Yeah. Detroit Tigers are playing very, very good baseball right now. Very good baseball. And they're beating the right teams and they're very competitive games against the teams that they'll see in October.
They're beating everybody. They're beating the bad teams. They're beating the good teams. They're winning the one run games. They're coming back from behind. I mean, they are getting it done. And
They started this season this year against America's team against Dodgers, and they left the Ravine 0-3. So they're not beating everybody.
hey, you know what? Sometimes losing is the best thing that can happen to a young team.
Yes.
Unfortunately, being able to make it the first games, not the last games, is always better. Um, but I'm telling you, I think AJ Hinch has turned that culture around. Um, and don't be surprised if the Tigers are in this thing for a while. All right, let's move on to number two. And much to my dismay, I got to give credit where credit is due. The best team in the National League still resides in the ravine of Chavez. So, Bill, I'll let you take over here and talk about the number two team, the Los Angeles Dodgers. They had 5 straight wins against the Giants and Padres right when those guys were chewing on y'all's back door. They've reasserted themselves in the NL West. Bill, take it away and talk about.
Oh, they're just playing really good. They're hitting really good right now. Shohei is hitting very well. Freddie's hitting darn near 350. Mookie Betts is starting to turn a corner. Max Muncy raised his batting average from like a buck 70 at the beginning of the month to I think it's like 240, 250, someplace in there. He's destroying the ball. You got a lot of guys too that people don't know. Andy Paez is one of them. He was supposed to be in that Angels trade that Artie Moreno turned down. So thank you, Artie, for turning that down. Andy Paez is playing very, very well. Kiki Hernandez, obviously Teoscar. All the boys are doing what they need to do. So,
And Shohei's back on the mound. It's kind of
yep.
scary. Hold on. I got to clean my palate after that. It was hard. It was hard. I turned my hearing aids back up. All right. So yes, we both agree. Number two team in the power ranking is the Los Angeles Dodgers. Going leads us to number three. Number three is another National League team. Bill, would you agree that the Chicago Cubs
Yes,
are the third best team in baseball?
yes, they're scoring a lot of runs right now, and they're putting strings of hits together. Yes.
Now, check back next time we do this because if we were to probably do this next week, they may slide down because the way I've been seeing it, the wind is blowing out at Wrigley, and unfortunately, their pitchers' uh, best stuff is blowing out as well because they gave up like 33 runs to the Mariners when I didn't need them to do that. So you're gonna see where that is. But yeah, no, I think um, just the introduction of I'm not just gonna say it's all Kyle Tucker, but they made some key additions in the offseason and these guys are playing and Chicago's such a good baseball city that they're out there on a Wednesday during the day. I mean, they're playing. So the Cubbies, hey, go for it. You know what I'm saying? Do it while you can. Give the Dodgers all they can in the playoffs there. Another National League team I think's running up here in the fourth spot, although they're being manhandled by the Braves today. I'm gonna put the New York Mets at the fourth spot there. Um, I don't know if they're going which direction they're going in right now. In a stunning move, they moved Francisco Alvarez to the minors, and I mean he had a 27% strikeout rate. So I that was just a little stunning to me. But that division is so quirky between the Phillies and the Mets and the Braves. I think got a potential to play some spoiler in there, but I think the Mets stay there at four. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. The Mets are a very hot team. They're not getting what people think they're getting. I mean, they will be very good. I'm just gonna put it like that. They're gonna be very good.
All right, which leads us to number five. And I got a feeling that me and you may flip flop five and six.
Okay?
Um, but based on today's game, the fifth seed or the fifth team in the power rankings goes to, that's right, Bill's favorite, Houston Astros. Okay. We've got another win together. Fromber held his own today against Ranger Suarez. Um, like I mentioned here previously, we're winning when we need to win. Pitching is where it needs to be when we've had as many injuries we've had. We're doing it without Jordan. Pena's having a great year. Cam Smith, wonderful rookie. A guy that if you're not in Houston, you may not know this name, but Jake Myers is having a career year, both in the outfield and at the plate. He's covering so much ground in center. Um, and I think he's batting like 310 with a 407 slugging at the plate. Jake Myers, phenomenal player.
From State
Check him
Farm,
out.
right?
What's that?
What do you call him? Rick from what?
Jake from Rake Farm. That's my boy, Jake from Rake Farm, because
Jake from Rake Farm. There you
he's
go.
putting it out there, Crawford. The sixth team I would say would be the Philadelphia Phillies, the NL East leading Phillies. Hey, they're a good team. I
Hmm.
think Bryce Harper going on the shelf, you're without one of the best players in the league. It's definitely going to affect you.
Yeah.
Their pitching is solid. The lineup is deep. I think it's just going to be tough. They're going to them and the Mets are going to beat each other up the whole season, I believe. Yeah, just a good old fashioned 15 rounder. You
Ding
kids go
ding.
Google it. Y'all don't. We used to have 15 round fights. All right, back
Ding
in
ding.
yeah. But yeah, no, the Phillies, again, we'll see where they are in a week. That division is going to be highly contested all the way through, I think. That leads us to where we at number seven. Number seven, I hate to do this. So, being that you love Aaron Arson Judge so much, I got to give it to the Yankees, being the seventh best team. Their pitching has come out of the woodwork. I think they have like in the last 2 months they've got a league leading ERA or something like that, some obnoxious stat, but What do you say about the Yankees there in the seventh position, Bill?
So I would move the Yankees above the Phillies and the Astros. And no disrespect to your Astros. I do think that they are in the top 10 for sure. At least in the top 29. The Astros are at least in the top 29. No, but the Yankees, I've seen them play in person twice this season, and they are very, very, very good. Now that they have Giancarlo, I can't find a jersey that fits me correctly. Stanton back in the lineup. Cody Bellinger's doing his thing. Paul Goldschmidt leading off half the time. I'm telling you, Dave, these guys are good. These guys are really, really good.
Yeah, okay. And on your show, you could put them ahead of the Astros and the Phillies. But
That's
here, they're in the seventh position. And although your words are nice and well thought out and very knowledgeable, yeah, anyway.
so, Dave, before we go on, you mentioned something earlier, and I wanted to repeat it. You talked about the 27-ounce box break. I just want to let everybody know what that is. 27-ounce box break is you can get your team for $27 a month. You get your team. You get a $5 off discount code. We're going to put you on kind of a priority shipping where we'll ship out once a month, twice a month if you get into other box breaks. Plus, you get early access. So just this week, Dave, just this week, or I'm sorry, just last week on Wednesday, Donruss dropped their 2025 product. We broke it on Monday night with Mike from Unraveling Baseball. Every single pack had a hit in it. And one person got a card that is probably, I mean, probably worth, I'm going to guess $20 right now. It's early on, but they were able to get it because they had early access. Somebody couldn't snake their team. So I'm telling you, if you are a card collector, this is the cheapest and easiest way to do it. Now, for those of you that love the Houston Astros, they're still available. Dave has not thrown down that credit card yet. So I'm just saying, it's available
I'm
out there.
I'm giving you guys because every time I hear like Dave never gives us a chance to get the Astros. So here you are. Here's your chance.
That's
Get
right.
in there quick. You can even use the discount code Big Dave. I'm gonna give you that much more. Go on and snag the Astros up. What's next on the box break? What year?
Uh, so next we have a 27-ounce break. I'm actually going to be announcing it on Thursday. So I can't
Okay, see,
announce it today.
y'all. I tried to get
Yeah,
an
I can't
exclusive
announce it
out of it.
today, but
It didn't work. It
we
didn't
got
work.
something I
But
think is pretty
nevertheless,
special.
go get yourself a subscription to the 27 Ounce Club. Get early access to your team. Make sure you've got your players, especially if it's a year where you're looking for one of your top players' rookie card or something. The inserts are always funny. Like you said, like Bill said the other day, it's fun watching it. And when the packs hit, I mean, there's true excitement. And you can only find that at 27 Ounce Club, brought to you by TopFanRivalry.com.
Yes, yes. Okay, where
Let's
are we
just
at?
finish
We
out
have
the
the
power
Celtics
rankings real
break.
quick, Bill. I got San Francisco at 8,
Ooh,
the Rays at 9, and the Brewers sneaking up in the 10th spot there.
listen, I you can take out one of those teams for doggone sure. Just saying.
No, you know what? I put your third best team in there just solely because Rafael Devers hit this first home run off his good friend Byron Bello, and you got to love that. I mean, who doesn't love a reunion story like that? Um, No, it's fine. But yeah, no, tune in next time. We'll try to keep track of these rankings and see where people are moving up or down and see if we can get the Yankees knocked flat out of this thing eventually. Unfortunately, I think the Dodgers will be there to stay until the end, but who knows? But that's it. That was the Can of Corn Power Rankings today, Wednesday, the 25th of June.
Yes.
27 Ounce Club, man. I'm telling y'all guys, you better get on there quick because when we get off of this, I might just go snag
We
those.
started that, everybody. So to save people money on box breaking. Right
Yeah,
now, I think we have 13 or 14 teams taken. So once they're done, we'll start a new club, but it ain't going to be $27. I can tell you that right now. You may be looking at $50, $60.
I'm saying you got to get in when it's in the entry levels and you get a hold of that grandfather price, that good stuff. Get it while
Yeah.
you can.
All right, Dave, what else you got for us?
Okay, so it's about the mid season. It's the last week of June. When the calendar turns to July, you can almost smell the hot dogs on the grill. It's the 4th of July. It's time for the All-Star game. So that means we're about exactly halfway through the season just now. Our division leaders, as we speak right now, are the Phillies, Dodgers, Cubs, Astros, Yankees, and Tigers, right? Bill, does it stay like this? Who has the greatest chance of missing the playoffs entirely out of this group?
So in the American League, you're talking about division leaders, right?
Yeah, division leaders right now. The six
Okay,
divisional division leaders.
okay, so now you're saying the six division leaders, who has the chance at missing the playoffs, or who has the chance at
It's a
not winning the
two-parter.
division?
Okay, so first, do you think that as it is right now today, it'll finish the season? Can the Phils hold? Can everybody hold on to
No,
their positions?
no, no. I do not. I still think that the Dodgers win their division, although San Francisco is playing very well. Padres have hit a little roadblock, but they're playing pretty well. The Cubs, no. I actually think the Reds are going to win that division. You watch. There's still a lot of baseball for the Reds and the Cubs to play each other. The Metropolitans are going to win their division. Um, you are going to see a dogfight. Do I think that Houston's going to win that division? Probably, but you're going to see a dogfight with Seattle. We have not talked about Cal Riley. The dude has like 4,900 home runs in the first 75 games. Every time he touches the ball, it's going out of the yard.
I
Um,
apologize, y'all. Bill wasn't a math major. It's fine.
yeah,
Numbers are off a little bit, but no, I mean, I hear your argument. Um, I think that if I were in Wrigley or Philly, I'd be a little scared.
yeah.
Um, the Cubs have been managing to put it together, but historically, the Cubs have found a way to cub, as
Yeah.
some Northsiders would use it as an adjective. Um, and the Phillies, man. I mean, the Mets, they're only a game and a half back, I think, right now. That's going to
Yeah,
be a highly contested division, I think, all the way down to the end. And the Rays, bless
that's
them.
where I was going to go next. Yeah.
Bless them Rays, man. I mean, they can definitely make some noise and take that top spot from the Yanks, I think.
So I always mess up when I do these podcasts with you, Dave. I always look at numbers on Tuesday night. I never look at numbers Wednesday morning. So I apologize everybody for that. But as of start of baseball on Tuesday when I wrote these things down, and I got to remember to do better. The Rays are only a game out behind the Yankees. Toronto's only 2.5 out, and Boston is 5.5 out. That division is still wide open. All the pressure goes on the New York Yankees. Nobody, eh, Dave, you remember the wonderful movie with Harry Doyle called Major League, right? Remember Dr. Cox from Scrubs? He played the iron worker, and he would say, "Who the F are these guys?" That's kind of what I feel like when I'm watching. And we're doing baseball quotes tonight, everybody. But that's kind of what I feel like we're watching with the Tampa Bay freaking Rays. Nobody knows who these guys, half of these guys are. Not even the people in Tampa Bay know who these guys are. And yet they're doing some magical crap. And there is zero expectation for them to win the division. All
Yeah,
the pressure's
no.
on the, tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, how nice would it be to get a playoff game in George Steinbrenner Field?
Dave, you have no idea. I have said my prayers. I want to light candles. I want to do everything that I possibly can to get an Oakland or a Sacramento A's versus a Tampa Bay Rays playoff series. That Major League Baseball would lose their mind and I would laugh. But
No,
to
that
your
that
question, Dave, who misses the playoffs? Here's one place, here's one team, even though they won tonight, here's one team that needs to hit that panic button, kind of like at Staples, hit the easy button. They need to hit the panic button, and that is the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves need to hit the panic button. If they don't, they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like, by the time you get midway through the season, you know, the cream usually rises to the top, and you kind of start seeing where things are going to settle and who are going to be the contenders and who are the pretenders. And the Braves are on the cusp of pretending as
Yeah,
we speak.
yeah,
So
yeah, 100%. The other team, Dave, that we need to mention on your show here is here's a team that won what 11 in a row or 13 in a row, and now has fallen down to 1-9 in the last 10, and they're 5 games again starting Tuesdays, 5 games under 500, and that's the Minnesota Twins. What is going on in the Twin Cities over there? These guys either win 100 games in a row or they lose 100 games in a row. There's no in between.
it's in the name, Twin Cities. You get Jekyll or you get Hyde. I mean, it's like the team shows up one day and they score like 13 runs, and
Yep.
then their evil twins, the evil robot thems, show up and sabotage it all. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's gremlins there at Target Park or whatever they're calling it these days.
Target Field. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So look here. You mentioned them early, okay? And I see. I'm talking about the Mariners, and it grinds my gears. It puts a little in my craw there. But real recognize real. Numbers don't lie. Kyle Raleigh has knocked his 30th homer. I don't know if he's hit one at time of recording. So he very well may be at 31. I actually bet that he would hit one today. So come on, Kyle. Come on, Kyle. But no, Bill, I got a question. We
Yeah.
haven't seen an assault like this um, prior to the All Star game. I can't say we haven't seen one. Judge did it in 2024. I think he had like 34 at just a half. But Barry Bonds in 2001 hit a record setting 39 homers before the All Star game. Okay. My question to you, there's 19 games left at the time of recording. Can Kyle Raleigh surpass 39 home runs to break that record? Okay. He's got the Twins. They're playing the Twins right now. Then he's got the Rangers, the Royals, the Pirates, the Yankees, and the Tigers pitching. Can he get, what does he need? Nine, let's just say 10 for the win. Can he
Mhm.
get 10 homers in the next 19 games?
So I just looked it up this morning, and last night when they played the Twins, Seattle won 6-5, and Cal hit a double. He did not homer. Can he do it? Yes. Will he do it? It depends on where the pitching matchups. So, for example, you put Paul Skeens in that mix, and you put Max Fried in that mix. Okay, now we got some problems, right? Those are two very, very good pitchers that are having very, very good seasons. Also, too, J-Rod is not pitching or I'm sorry, hitting very well. He doesn't have a lot of protection. What you're going to start seeing, especially in H-Town, where you guys are going like nose to nose, toe to toe with this guy, you guys are gonna start walking him.
Put him on.
Yep.
Put him
So
on.
does he go?
Um,
Does he hit 10 more and does he get to 40? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say
yeah,
he'll.
no.
I'm gonna say he gets to
If
35.
if I had to put money on it, wait, hold on. Hello. Hi. 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 All right. Shohei says bet the under. Um, So that's what we're going with. I couldn't agree with you more, man. I mean, while it's fun, I remember in '98, Griffey and McGuire were going at it toe to toe to start the season, and it's exciting. Don't get me wrong, but pitchers are very proud people, and they are not just going to keep serving up salamis for this guy to belt out. Um,
So Dave, you and I were texting back and forth during a game. You say that pitchers are proud. You are 100% correct. There was a player, we won't mention the name, Zach Neto, was hanging out over the plate, and we won't mention the pitcher's name, but Hunter Brown decided to fix that issue. And Zach didn't like it and said something about his family, I'm sure. And Hunter invited him out to the mound to talk about it a little bit
Yeah,
and says,
no.
hey,
Soto, you might want to Google. Ryan versus Ventura and see how that ended up when he went up against a big old country fed pitcher. Look here, yeah, that's old school baseball, and I love
It
that.
is, man. It
I
is.
mean, you're crowding the plate, and then if you went back and look, he almost swung at it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think that's what made him even more mad is that he almost bit at it. But the last thing you want to do is go running up on a guy whose nickname is the Diesel and can throw a baseball 100 miles an hour at your head. So
Yeah.
take it
Yeah.
easy,
No, it's,
Soto.
but
Read the
you mentioned
room.
that pitchers are proud. They are. They don't
Yeah.
like to be shown up. So now, Dave, if this were Aaron Judge, I would say yes because you can't pitch around him. You got
Yeah.
Cal, you've got Stanton, you've got Goldschmidt, you've got Cody, you've got DJ LeMahieu.
Which
Outside of J-Rod, who do you
it's
have?
kind of disappointing because if he could do it, I really would think he has a chance, albeit outside, at surpassing Judge in the MVP race. If he can just keep ripping them out. But like you said, I think his opportunities are going to start coming fewer and far between
So the
because that's
last thing I'm going
just
to mention on this is Dave, do you realize that there is a very, very, very good possibility from a standpoint of Major League Baseball as a whole? Do you realize that there is a good shot that we could see 3 to 5 players hit 50 home runs this season? Cal Riley, Aaron Judge, your buddy you just talked to on the phone, Shohei, um, Kyle Schwarber. I mean, James Wood is 22 freaking years old. He's got 22 home runs.
the juiced life is back, baby. I don't know whether it's the ball or the growth hormone, but I'm all for it. Okay. So well, it'll
There
be
you go.
fun. I personally, I hope he doesn't because if he's hitting the home runs, that gives the Mariners a higher chance to win. So walk him, put him on, make somebody else beat you guys. Bill,
Yes, sir.
unfortunately, it's come a time where we got to start drawing the shades down a little bit. We gotta close the grill. We got to get ready to close out here. But before we do, we like to do a little thing we call off the record here, where it may be not necessarily numbers and stats, but just a little thing to make you go on your way out the door. Okay.
Okay.
So I was looking at stats the other day. I was watching Sports Center and Baseball Tonight, and I was realizing that the league-wide standings are tighter than they've been in years.
Hmm.
Every single division is within reach, I would say. There's nobody at this point that is running away with anything. Um, at, at the time of recording, 25 of the 30 teams are holding a playoff spot or within one game of being in a playoff spot, division or wild card. Okay. Bill, is baseball back? Could this be one of the most exciting races to the postseason?
Interesting question. Um, I think you're going to start to see, as they would say, cream rise a little bit to the top. So I don't know. Um, After the All-Star break, we'll see who's buyers and sellers. There are some teams, there's 5 teams for sure that are looking at things next season. And even some of the teams that are struggling, like Baltimore, uh, they can still turn it around and make some things happen. But yeah,
You
it's
know,
very exciting.
I would love to see it. Parity in the league is what is needed, especially if you're in a smaller market. I know it feels like it's hard to compete with the teams that can go out there and just spin, 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 or prorate, 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 whatever the case may be. Um, but it lends me back to excitement going down the wire. 98, the McGuire Sosa chase. Necessarily it wasn't the division, but anytime that you've got people watching every single game going down the line, I'm all for it. I think that this season, with things being so tight, there are going to be more buyers than there are sellers. So there's going to be some big fish out there that get hooked. I think that the proof is in the pudding. Home field is a luxury that you can't afford not to go after. So I think these teams are going to continue to just go after each other. Like we mentioned, it's a 15-round fight, Bill. Um,
So
so
I'm going to mention something that I was asked not to mention. Um, uh, I was asked not to mention by you, but I mean by the producers of this show, I should say. I have it on very good authority that Dave has cut a deal with the producers of this show, Can of Corn. He has said, quote, if you have the six division leaders and then you have the two wild card teams in each division, right? So you end up having what is that? Six, eight, 10 teams. But I was told that if there are 15 teams within 3 games of each other, so wild card and everything. Dave said that would be so exciting that for the month of November, he will match me step to step in my walking. Now, I don't know, Dave, why the producers decided to put that in my ear, but can you confirm that or deny that?
no, that's not in the contract. No, no, I don't care what he says. I don't I don't care if he's the president. I don't no. I'm not doing it. I'll Uber. I'll Uber there. Okay. All right. All right. All right. We've renegotiated and I will go right. I'll be right there with you, but in the top fan minivan. Okay. I will be riding alongside. But
You
I'll be
got it,
there. I'll
Dave.
be I'll be the guy holding the cups of water out for you. You know, you could throw it on your face or whatever you need. Um,
So,
but
Dave,
you know,
the reason why I mentioned that is because Top 10 Rivalry has partnered up with a place called Project Purple. As everybody knows, I'm walking the equivalent of Dodger Stadium to Yankee Stadium, which is 2,797.1 miles. Dave, I am about 1,200 miles into the year so far. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm going to catch it up. Project Purple, we're doing donations for these guys. All proceeds, all of that goes to Project Purple. What they do is they help cancer patients that can't afford the same treatments that I got that kept me alive. So I thought I'd mention that and make a joke out of it. But hey, listen, these guys over at Project Purple, Dave, I've talked to their CEO, I've talked to their marketing director. These are some very, very, very good people. So,
no,
I
yeah.
mean, Dave,
Oh,
if you
look,
want to
look here,
Uber, that's
guys.
fine.
All jokes aside, what Bill's doing is a wonderful thing. You know, I have personally dealt with the cursed cancer word, so I know firsthand what it's like to be affected by that disease. So anything that could be done to bring awareness or raise money or anything for the cause, you know, I'm all for it. So you know what? Go on and order me some new shoes because I'll be walking with you that last month, buddy. Okay.
There you go. There you
All
go. I
right.
love it. I love it.
All right.
Well, Dave, I think we maxed out our show limit here, but do you have anything that we want to wrap up with?
Look here, man. I want to say again, thank you, each and every one of you who are tuning in. All 12 of you. I'm kidding. No, all
12 and a
seven.
half.
No, but seriously, if you check us out live or if you go back and watch us whenever, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, it is a labor of love. We love talking baseball, and nothing's better than kicking back with some friends. And we do it for y'all. So thank you for tuning in. If you're over at YouTube, like I said, mash that subscribe button wherever you listen to us on your favorite podcast. Go on and give us a thumbs up, okay? Check out topfanrivalry.com. Get in the team store. Use discount code Big Dave. Save yourself 10%. Don't forget the 27 Ounce Club. We want to take a second real quick. Thank again our sponsors, Gravity Red Production Services out of Huntington Beach, California, Lang Roofing in SoCal there, and Drunken Gentleman Clothing Company. Thank you guys for bringing another episode of Can of Corn to you. I am Big Dave. That is Baseball Bill. As always, love the life you live the life you love. I am Big Dave. Go Stros.
Enjoy your midweek all. Talk to you soon.